Patriarchal and Hebrew History 9. From the institution of the Passover to the giving of the law, Exodus 11 through 19, AM 2513, BCE 1491. The Lord's direction to Moses, and by Lord, I'm sure they mean Yahweh rather than Lord, which, well, I mean, same thing, but Yahweh doesn't translate into Lord. The Lord's direction to Moses concerning the coming of the great and final plague, Exodus 11, 1 through 10, institution of the Passover, meaning of the word and its memorial character, a type of what, description of the manner of its celebration, Exodus 12, 1 through 20, Moses' direction to the people, 21 through 27, direction of destruction of the firstborn in Egypt, and the consequent distress and terror of the inhabitants, hurried departure of the Israelites, and their spoiling of their oppressors, verse 28 through 36. Now, the firstborn is a bit of an exaggeration in both the times that the 9 plagues could have happened, but relatively, and one of the ways that the firstborn could have died is either by gas or by eating the larger portions allotted to the firstborn of the food that had gone bad or was going bad. Their first journey, the number of people and the manner of their going out, and the importance of the event, verse 37 through 51, further instruction concerning the celebration of the event in the future, continuation of the journey, and how they were guided, Exodus 13, Pharaoh recovers from his fright and attempts to recapture the Israelites, Exodus 14, 1 through 10, the alarm of the latter and their reassurance by Moses, Exodus 11, verse 11 through 14, the miraculous passage through the Red Sea. In Aramea, it's the Reed Sea, which, being a tidal marsh, is a bit different than the whole Red Sea thing, but the flood that basically set forth the Red Sea as we know it, that happened, 7,000 years before that. So, I don't remember exactly. No, more. Was that 7,200 BCE or something like that that happened? The destruction of Pharaoh and his army and deliverance of the people, verse 15 through 31. The song of victory, Exodus 15. Some people's favorite part of Exodus. Don't they have this in the Moses movie that Disney released? Continued journeys of the liberated Israelites. Well, they have the Hebrew pronunciation of it, but their apprehension of famine and their murmurings, the miraculous supply of the quails and manna, directions concerning the gathering of the manna, disobedience and its consequences, Exodus 16, verse 1 through 36, lack of water and its miraculous supply, Exodus 17, verse 1 through 7, first battle with a hostile nation, verses 8 through 16, visit of Moses' father-in-law and his counsel as to the method of governing the people, Exodus 18, Moses on Mount Sinai and God's charge to him and the people, the awe inspired by the demonstrations about the mountain, and the evidence of the divine presence, Exodus 19. And symbolic value in acting such things can be even more important than physical thing. But remember, this book here, the guy's sort of a fundamentalist. And Pharaohs and Kings, there was like a 2-part documentary. Well, it was really 1-part documentary, but it was like 2 hours with commercials and that sort of thing. What's meant by fundamentalist is somebody who goes to the sources and makes their own conclusions. So this guy looked at the ancient Egyptian stuff, and he looked at the stuff that the Jews had to say on the issue, and he made his own conclusions, which was quite profound, comparatively, than I thought, because it wasn't... He was getting past conservatism, and he was getting past liberalism at the same time, and yet, you know, as a fundamentalist, being true to what seemed to be the sources in where he was getting his conclusion. When there's side traditions with a lot of these things, it's important to look at maybe the different cultures that were talking about the same thing, or even the same theme